How's it going, everybody? My name is Absalom and welcome to my channel. So now that Death Stranding is finally out and people are experiencing the world for themselves, I wanted to make a video that encompassed the top 5 things that you should know while playing this game in order to make Death Stranding a whole lot easier. So the things I'll be covering in this video are essential for survival as well as just a general understanding for this game. I will be making a series of videos for this game, so if you're interested in any Easter eggs and achievements as well as other guides for this game, be on the lookout for that on my channel. Now, the first topic that I want to address is the environment itself. Now, despite its barren look, it is actually very much alive and it has a lot going on. So Sam has a thing called the Odor Deck, which is the waving flashing arm that is attached to his suit. This allows you to scan the environment so that you know what kind of dangers lie ahead. This is really useful when crossing rivers, also climbing mountains, and just conquering any general terrain. So if it's blue, that's generally pretty safe. If it's yellow, it's a little bit hazardous. And if it's red, you just probably should avoid it at all costs. And since you're prone to losing your cargo when you wipe out, this is really helpful when you're progressing through the world. And while we're on the topic of wiping out, I also want to talk about the balancing feature. Now, it's going to be inevitable that you'll find yourself losing balance while carrying a heavy loadout. To correct this, you can hold down both the triggers to center your balance or shift weight left or right, holding down either trigger. And while this might seem pretty obvious, it's also important to understand that you can do this while crossing over ladders, climbing ropes, and climbing over rocks and other such terrain. Another really cool feature in the environment is these signs. These can be fun, they can be informative, or they can alert you to danger. Now, just like you can help yourself with the signs, you can also plant signs to help other players. You can do this by holding down L1 and then selecting your sign of choice. These signs can be very helpful, however, if you want to avoid spoilers or any kind of help, you can remove these signs in the menus. Along with building signs, you can also build a number of other things. So once you acquire a PCC, you can equip this in your menu, which will allow you to build things like a post box, a bridge, a watchtower, and other useful things for other players. You do have to have enough materials to build one of these items, which you can find in the environment. Building one of these structures will help yourself as well as other people and players within this world. And by doing so, you will actually boost your attributes and your like rating. Which brings me to my last topic for the environment, which is the rating system. By rating an object within the game, you're actually boosting that player's overall likes, as well as alerting other players to well-placed objects. It's interesting that this game is making a satirical comment on today's modern social media and how that affects people's lives. Okay, so the next topic I want to go over is the loadouts. So understanding the cargo management will be vital to completing this game. So whether you're on a main mission or you're just walking around, you can open up the menus to manage your cargo. Now you'll see here that it's going to show you where the items are stored on your body or on your exoskeleton. Now there is a feature that you can auto-arrange all your cargo, however, this won't always be the best option. So just like in real life, you want to move the heavier items to the bottom and then leave the lighter items on top. This will allow you to walk around easier without falling or losing balance. Storing your non-essential items in the private locker is recommended, and then for main missions, I would bring only what's needed as well as a couple of the survival tools. This way you can carry things and you can pick up things as you're walking in order to earn more loot in the game. Okay, so along with loadouts, the next topic I want to talk about is the missions because they kind of go hand in hand. Activating one of the terminals at the facilities will allow you to pick up another mission, or as the game calls it, an order. Exploring the world and also going to the previously reconnected facilities will allow you to unlock more orders for Sam. Getting these orders is going to be crucial to leveling up and getting better attributes. Now, once an order is selected, you can read through this order to see what is going to be delivered and what items might be needed, and then you can fabricate your equipment that you might need throughout your journey. So I recommend only bringing the bare essentials and then a couple of the survival tools. And by survival tools, I mean the ladders and ropes and other such things. So like most games, the more you do, the better you get. So I highly recommend doing these side missions because your world rating will go up, the people in the world will generally like you more, and it'll allow you to have access to more resources and items that will come in handy for the main missions. Another handy feature is that if you die on one of these missions and you lose one of the vital cargo that is meant for the delivery, then you can actually go to another terminal and then redeploy that cargo that you'll need for that mission. So one of the things that I personally do the most in this game is plotting my course. This makes going to the mission a lot easier because this world can be a little confusing, and so before you set off on a mission, I highly recommend going into the menu and then you'll be able to draw these lines to connect your dots. So this will allow you to see something on the ground while you're running in order to follow the right path. The next topic is survival, and I want to give you some helpful tips on how to survive in this world. So there's a number of things that can go wrong, however the biggest threats are the BTs and the mules. Starting with the BTs, these are the shadowy ghost-like figures that are floating that will cause your Odor Deck to start spinning and freak out. Getting caught by a BT is highly unsettling as it'll drag you into the afterlife and force you to fight a BT boss. When you're first starting out in this game, you are not going to have any weapons or any way of fighting this boss, so you are inevitably going to die. On top of dying, you will also teleport to the seam and have to recover some of your cargo. The stuff that you do recover will be damaged and you'll have to repair it. Also, failing the mini boss fight will create a giant crater in the earth, permanently changing the terrain in the game. So overall, it is best just to avoid the BTs by crouching, holding your breath by holding R1, and also using your Odra deck to scan and also sense which direction they're in. This should allow you to get by them pretty easily. The next threat in the world are the mules, which are essentially porters that have gone bad and are now hunting you to steal your packages. You are able to kill the mules. You can either sneak up behind them and punch them or use a weapon. However, if you are spotted, they do have weapons themselves that they can hurt and damage you. So if it seems as though you're outnumbered and you aren't able to fight them, there is no shame in running away until you reach the edge of their territory. Okay, so as well as monsters, there's also other things to worry about like your stamina, your health, and your baby's health, as well as the wear and tear on your boots. So most of these can be fixed by either resting on the ground or in a private room or just repairing your equipment in the menus. However, a really cool tip is that you can stand in any water source and actually refill your canteen. The canteen is directly associated with your stamina meter and will help you with that. The last topic I want to go over is the menu and how much it has to offer. So I just want to break it down, and the first topic is the cargo. So you can manage your cargo, move around items on your back, and other such things that I mentioned earlier. So the second topic is the orders, and this is where you can check on the mission you're currently on, read through the details, and also see which orders are nearby so that you can rearrange by proximity. The next tab is the mail, and this is pretty straightforward, but it's all the messages you get from the characters in the world while you're doing one of the missions. The last tab is the data tab, and it's the most handy if you're just starting out. So the tips goes over every single thing you need to know about the game, essentially putting me out of a job. However, it evolves as you evolve so that the information is not overwhelming when you start out. There's also the interviews tab, which will basically break down some of the lore and the items within the game, and it's really fascinating if you read through it. The last thing is the log, which basically just tracks everything you've ever done in this game. Now, the last thing that goes with the menu is actually the private room, and it's essentially a playable menu. So in this room, there are figurines that evolve as the storyline evolves. There's a sink that you can do photos and take silly faces. There's also a shower and a toilet in case you're feeling dirty. There's also a place that you can edit your loadout and your weapons, as well as check on the BB and make it rest if it's feeling sick. There's also a shameless monster energy plug, as well as an active terminal. So aside from resting up and customization, the two biggest features I want to mention about this game is that BB can actually get sick by being exposed to the world for too long, and you can bring him to this room to rest up. The other cool feature is that when you shower, you actually collect the chiral matter that washes off your body, and you can use this to fight the enemies. Okay, so that is everything I wanted to go over to help you when you're just starting off in this game, and I will also be making a series of videos as well as storyline videos in the near future. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Absalom, and I hope to see you in my next video.